as soon as I get home from work.
Right, man.
Whoa,
What
wrong
up,
title. Wrong title.
I know. What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. I'm gonna switch over now to our new show and all that. Well, it's gonna be our regular show title for now. We're gonna get our own titling later. Welcome to tonight's show. We're gonna get started and talk about one crazy month. That's right. We're gonna be talking about all the things that have happened in this crazy month and all the stuff that's been going on in the world, in our community, as well as in the neighborhood. So we're gonna talk about different topics, and you know, feel free to comment and tell us all about your crazy month, and let's see what you think about these topics. What up, though, Dame?
Yo, what up, though?
So this past month is it's June. We're in the middle of June right now, and we've been only in the month for a couple of weeks, but we done seen a lot of crazy stuff. So you want to go ahead and get us started? I think we were talking about Miss what's her name?
It's Monique versus the world, aka
Yeah,
D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, anybody else who pissed her off.
right.
Um, it all started with the contract problem that they had here at the Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan, with DL headline the uh, the comedy tour. Miss Monique was in her contract. She slated that she was the headliner. She's supposed to be the main star.
Hmm.
Instead, she went on a rant and said DL he pouted and did all this other shenanigan stuff of saying that he's not going on. No, so she went on instead of doing her stand up or skits or bits, she went on a tirade
Hmm.
and badmouthed this man in front of everybody at the Fox Theater and
Right.
on how she was supposed to headline and just badmouth this man for X amount of minutes straight. That had no sense.
I think it was 20 minutes. 20 minutes straight. She was on a
Like
big tirade. She definitely was not happy with anything that was going on. And like you said, she even included some other people, right?
um, Lee Daniels, Steve Harvey, um, all her past attacks on Tyler Perry, Oprah.
Mhm.
It's like these people, gas isn't cheap. We didn't come down to the Fox Theater to hear you rant and you sort of try to cheer us up for coming down there.
Right.
We sort of be laughing, not supposed to be hearing about your struggles. We got our own struggles. We got real life struggles. You got rich people's struggles.
Exactly. Exactly. And and that's the thing is that I think sometimes that people, they go off on these rants and they forget, these are first world problems, right? Like like where were you at when we needed you to rant like this for police brutality? Where were you when we needed you to rant like this for
Anything
voting
that's
rights?
real,
Huh?
anything that's real life related. This is first world. No, not even first world. This is the part of the 5%ers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Correct me,
That's the
correct
one
me, Dave.
percent.
Correct. Exactly.
This is the 10% and up problems. Like, oh, my contract wasn't right.
Right. Right.
Fast forward after a couple of weeks of them going back and forth on showing Twitter, Instagram, their contracts of how things were supposed to be set up. Her husband is her manager. He set this up. He should have read the fine line on, hey, baby, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're not going on last. D.L. Hughley is. Instead of going, oh no, what happened? You was with the headline. Just your manager sucks, Monique. So then she got personal with D.L. Hughley and his family.
Right. Right.
Really
So yeah,
personal.
she included what his daughter as
No,
well
first the
as
wife. No,
right,
first
I'm
it
about
was
to say, yeah,
the
as well as
wife
his wife. Yeah.
with how you going suck suck on this man's this coward's D. I'm like, what? What does this have to do with a contract? Your
Right.
beef is you. Did you forget what you're beefing about? Then you bring then she's bringing in other people. What does Lee Daniels have to do with the contract? What does Steve Harvey have to do with the contract? I know she's trying to prove a point, but maybe it's not them, it's you. Not everybody can be wrong.
Right. Exactly.
Then he brought in his daughter. Then she brought in the problem with his daughter. And that's when I think DL was like, no, that's enough. So then he went on offensive on his on his radio show. Other people had things to say about it. Then she brought up, I think, a traumatizing experience that D.L. Hughley's daughter had with so-called rape or just assaults in their kids.
Yeah, I think I missed that part. I was basically watching like a bootleg of it, of the a little camera video of what happened and everything. So it was only so much, but it was crazy. She was going off the wall. She was definitely going deep into the trenches.
But this was about between those two. Why are you bringing this man's family in here?
Right.
This is about a contract of who's going to tell the jokes last. Just a little perspective. Like, this is not real life. Now you bring real life problems into a contract problem.
So this is my thing. Is first things first. Like you just said, it's a contract issue, right? It's an issue between those two and their promoter. Why did she never bring up the promoter? Like, why didn't she ever say, "Hey, you know what, promoter, you did me wrong"? I don't think she ever really touched the promoter, or at least not for longer than a couple of seconds. Touch on the fact that the promoter did her wrong. It wasn't, DL's fault directly. It wasn't Lee Daniels' fault. It definitely wasn't what's his name? Steve Harvey's fault. So, she was blaming all the wrong people, right?
But no, she brought the promoter up one time, and that was in that Instagram post on the contract. That was it.
Okay.
But then it gets really more weird because this is really surprising. Monique's sister chimed in on and made statements and comments about how Monique's wrong on bringing, talking about another man's family. You doing wrong by doing this, and you bringing up traumatizing events to people who don't even.
Hey, Gamers Paradise, appreciate you joining us.
Who's bringing up BS? It's like, this is how you gonna bring in traumatizing events and bring it back up when you're so-called a person of women empowerment and healing, and you are bringing up traumatizing events. You're counterproductive of which your actions.
The movement, right?
It's like you say you about peace, but you pulling out a gun.
Right. Exactly. Gamers Paradise says, is it bad that I don't know anybody you're talking about? We're talking about Monique, the comedian and actress, as well as D.L. Hughley, one of the kings of comedy. Is it bad you don't know either one of them? Maybe you're not too up on larger pop or centralized pop culture, but I mean, it could happen. I mean, they're not some of the current headlining comedians out there, so I guess it's not a big thing. They were really huge in the early 2000s and the early 2010s. They were very really huge at that time. DL has a radio show now, and Monique is currently blackballed because of this behavior. And this is what I don't understand. Monique had all of the opportunities that a lot of other people had, and she, knowing that her inability to, I forgot how she put it herself personally, but basically her inability to not be shut up, and rightfully so. Applauds to her for wanting to defend advocate for herself and defend herself. But it's like, hey, you know what? You're gonna make a lot of enemies here, and so, but you're also going to gain some respect from people. And I think she did it. I think she did it kind of, okay, the first time. not the best the second time, but it's third time. She just went too far off the rails. And Gamers Paradise, we're gonna get to a different topic here shortly, so hopefully you'll be able to relate a little bit better. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Stay with us. But yeah, I just feel like she definitely did not think this through, basically.
She just got, you know what, and word is getting out that she basically, it wasn't about the contract. It was more of a comedian telling jokes over years of her antics.
Yeah.
It was basically getting back at DL for all the jokes that he told over the years with about her, her being the butt of the jokes. You're a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to know that you're going to get clowned on.
Right.
This is,
Right.
and backstory is DL. She opened up her home to DL. He came. They chilled out. They mingled, and what happened was that he fell into the trap of, hey, I can work with her. B had stuff. Everybody who warned him, don't do it, don't do it.
Right.
He went ahead and did it anyway. He like, no, I give her a try. No, she didn't do me wrong. She did y'all wrong. So things could be different, and things haven't changed.
Yeah.
Even her sister's letter to Monique saying that, you had another chance to prove yourself to be one of the greats. You got another chance to work with a person and get your career out of the gutter or back off life support and revive your career, and you're doing it again. You're about to get canceled again because of your antics.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. She's definitely risking that in terms of not only alienating or not only being canceled again. Well, I won't say canceled because I don't think she'll be canceled, but she'll definitely be black, risking being blackballed further, or like I said, alienating, some allies that she's had, especially people who may have felt that, your antics were a little bit much the first time, but where we can overlook that because this was a heated situation for you. But now you're at this point, now you're just attacking everybody. And this is just not, and you're doing it unjustly or unduly when they're not directly related to the issue, or they're not responsible for the issue that you're facing. So, I think we know she ran that into the ground. We're not going to run this into the ground. Let's get to our next topic because we want people like Gamers Paradise to be comfortable with what we're talking about because, they're like confused. So let's get over.
There's going to be some topics that people probably never heard of that's on here that it's going to be funny. Some not too much because I'm not sure what you got planned next. So
yeah, let's talk about a new golf league sponsored by the Saudis. So as many of you know, the PGA is, basically, I guess, America's premier golf league. And there's, I forgot how many golfers is in the league, but there's plenty of golfers in the PGA, the Professional Golfers Association.
I think it's almost 300 plus.
Yeah. So, it's been around for so long. And, it's been considered, basically the upper echelon of golfing, basically the NBA of golfing. So now we have this case where the Saudi prince and the royal family and those that represent them are deciding to do their own sponsored golf league in Europe, and their basis is to kind of expand the options for golfers, but also make some money. You know what I'm saying? So they like money just like everybody else does, and so they have decided to not only court current golfers in the PGA, but they've also reached out to former golfers as well as some of the top prospects that are out there. And I think that the biggest issue that a lot of people have is just the fact that it is backed by the royal family, the Saudi royal family. There's a lot of human rights violation issues that the royal family has been not only just accused of, but rightfully accused of, as well as some other violations and some things that they've been involved in were definitely sketchy, very sketch organization going on there.
No,
So I'm not the big sports fan here, so I'm going to start off by just saying that, I see the prospect of this. Yeah, there's some sketch individuals, but one of the things that I was hearing about that would be a kind of a good thing behind this is that the things that they do in terms of, some of the lack of rights that they've given women in their country, some of the things that they've done in the past that they, could be trying to expand upon, being a little more inclusive, right? As well as maybe this could again open their eyes even further to things that they may need to change in their thinking, but also in the way that they handle things. I don't know what the current human rights situation is with that country is, but I know it has been a little bit more inclusive. Uh,
Track it.
Allowing more foreigners in, allowing women to have a few more rights. I'm sure it's not perfect, and I'm definitely not trying to support that. But I think a Saudi led league is going to maybe bring about some noticeable opportunities for people to duly influence the regime, as well as the area, as well as expand some things over, like I said, in Europe as well. So a lot of the places I'm assuming, we don't know yet, that they're going to play are not in these more sketchier areas, or places that have these issues, and that the players are going to be you know basically richly rewarded for coming into the league. I'll get into that in a second. Dane, go ahead. What's your opinion on this?
Um, I didn't pay attention to anything you just said. No, no, but yeah, everything is gonna be sketchy when you go into business with anybody. It doesn't matter if it's somebody well established like the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. Tigers won their first game in forever, so I had to wear the shirt. Because everybody has some type of past or present problem with their league. NFL doesn't have enough black owners, none. NBA has lack of, thanks to Michael Jordan and a couple other people, we got a couple of black owners. Major League Baseball and their racism when they first letting the black people in to play with them, play with the pro ball players because we had the Negro League for a minute.
Right.
Um, Golf with this LIV people.
Yeah, the Live Tour. It's the LIV Tour or Live Tour.
Yeah, you have to be completely in to go against, I guess, whatever's wrong with whatever sport you're watching, because you got Nike who's in the NBA a lot. You got people who are sponsors of Nike, and those people who are the faces of Nike, like the late Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan with Nike, Tiger Woods, LeBron James. Just name a few. Problems with China. So you can't be like, oh, the Saudi Arabian people, they do bad stuff. So do the companies that we support and wear every day.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
you
like you
can't
said,
you
it's
can't
just
be
because Nike alone
hypocritical.
has a lot of issues with, human rights violations for their workers.
Yeah, you can't be hypocritical, but like, I'm not gonna support them. They're wrong. Like, but you're still wearing rocking Nike and going to NFL games. Who NFL's no better because they got what Deshaun Watson on, getting massages, and
Right.
you got former players getting slamming their pregnant girlfriends on a bed full of guns. Got Antonio Brown slapping his girlfriend and throwing her bag of dildos in her face. It's like, what the what? And yeah, that
I
trust
missed
me,
that news headline.
it actually happened a couple of
Right,
years ago. It
right.
actually happened.
But this is the thing, and I'm not saying it's the right move. I please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying I see why some of these people are trying to do that. what could be wrong about it is the fact that it will make more money for a group of individuals and a regime that may not need that money. It may not need to be, being, even though they're richly rewarding the players, they're richly rewarding themselves as well. So I think that there's a double-edged sword there, and it could be, a good thing and a bad thing. And, so right now, the PGA, and as you just saw the headline I had popped up there, is threatening sanctions against PGA players who move over to the league or to the
Yeah.
Live Tour, as well as there's mounting backlash or pushback about it as well in the community, in the golfing community. I think that um, some of the players who've already said that they've signed up or are willing to sign up are already, trying to, recoup face on it, right? So Phil Mickelson, one of PGA's greats, he was actually already retired from PGA. So good luck, PGA. He's done some press conferences about it. Dustin Johnson recently quit the PGA in order to go join the Live Tour. Again, good luck, PGA. Now he may be in the PGA's, or they may be in his pockets still because of maybe some residuals or some anything else that they may have going with him. He may lose something there, but for the most part, these guys are leaving with no skin in the game. But Phil Mickelson was once quoted as saying that the Saudi regime was some scary MFers who have a horrible record on human rights. But now the Saudis are going to pay Phil $200 million. And so now Phil is saying, hey, this is going to give me an opportunity to have the most balance in my life. And I think this is going to do a lot of good for the game, end quote. Yeah, Phil, $200 million gives a lot of people a lot of balance. So I think that definitely has a lot to do with it.
You know who I'm surprised that turned it down, but not, I don't know, it's something not surprised, but surprised. Tiger Woods. He turned down $1 billion to play with them in the LIV.
Hold on, wait, 1 billion?
BILL.
So do we need to get him some help? Because obviously he crazy. Like, I don't know. I not that I'm willing to sell myself for money, but $1 billion sounds like I can make a lot of considerations. I may need some balance in my life. I need $1 billion balance in my life, and that'll definitely help me improve my game.
This is from the Washington Post. Norman shared how he and LIV Golf reached out to golf superstar Tiger Woods to take part in the new venture. We're talking about high 9 digits. Norman told the Washington Post Woods rejected the offer. That means Woods turned down $1 billion.
Wow. Yeah, I see it says Woods turned down a deal that was mind-blowingly enormous. That is crazy.
What?
But
I'm not sure
some people. I guess some people. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure how much golf Tiger. I'm not sure how much golf he got left in him, but he's made quite a big number over his career. Over his career, I'm like, you turned down 9. What kind of ethics you got? You ran away from your wife and hit a tree.
So now, isn't Greg Norman a former PGA player too?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and so he's part of the Live Golf Investments Commission. So and he's the CEO of the commission. So so you don't only have the Saudis. This is not a fully Saudi based tour. This is multiple different investors, and the Saudis are just one of the investors. I don't know if they're the largest investor, but they're one of the investors. So maybe that's another consideration some of these guys are taking into it. It's like, hey, these are some of my friends or some of my colleagues, and they're making this opportunity available to us, and it just happens to have a little Saudi money backing it up. So I can see where things can get a little cloudy there, but Tiger may be like, hey, he's not the kind of guy that wants to go against his beliefs or his his ideology behind, what the Saudis are doing. But like Sonny said, go talk to Phil, just to be sure. Go talk to Phil.
we it's just a little blood money. It's not all of it.
Right. It's only a little. Hey, but all money's got blood on it. United States. I mean, anyway, let's get on to the next topic. The EU is mandating the use of USBC charging cables in all electronic devices. Now, don't let me get you all confused, folks. This is not about electronics. We're not gonna dwell on what a USB-C and a B and the blah 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 is. Let me just put it this way, especially for all you iPhone users. So as you know, there's, everybody's got different charging cables, right? Android has theirs, iPhone has theirs. There's old Android chargers, there's old iPhone chargers. Everybody's got all these different things. And the EU, the European Union, has decided that they're tired of it. They're like, hey, this is crazy. We shouldn't have to go searching and buying and figuring out what cable we need. We should be able to have one universal, fully compatible, cross-device charging method. And so their idea here is that if any device going forward is made, manufactured, or sold in the EU, it must have a USB-C charging cable. So like I said, sorry, iPhone users, what that means is that there will be no charging for you in the EU until Apple conforms and switches their devices, and the manufacturing of their devices, to use USB-C, because USB-C is the recently adopted format for Android phones. So a lot of newer Android phones have had, or a lot of higher end Android phones have had USB-C charging for, I want to say, 3 years. Some devices just switched over in the last 2 years. But Apple, of course, has come back and said, hey, you know what? You're gonna make over 1 billion devices obsolete. Oh, really, Apple? Really? The guys who decided to get rid of the headphone jack? Really, Apple? Really? Yeah, and I know Samsung conformed with Apple and got rid of the headphone jack too, but only a year after, and after trying to satisfy Android owners. But I think there's still a couple of phones that are still being manufactured with headphone jacks. But that's neither here nor there. Apple, anyway, billions of devices. Yeah, thanks Apple. That were rendered obsolete, and so EU said they don't care. Get with the program and make all these devices with USB-C. So just for clarity, the current Apple format for charging on mobile devices such as the iPad and the iPhone is currently the Lightning cable. So if you're familiar with the Lightning cable, that's what you're no longer going to be able to use in Europe. Sorry, Europeans, I know how it is. It's tough. But EU is always about making laws that are for the greater good of its people. We're looking at you again, United States. We're looking at you again. Anyway, on to the next topic. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. No, you got something to say about that one?
No, I said it. I'm judging.
I think we're all judging. We're all judging you, United States and Apple, both of y'all together.
You know what will make this actually funny? If they just make it universally wireless chargers, just put it on the base of something and it charges. No more cables.
Well, and that's the thing too, is even that's not standard in currently. There's Qi charging, there's some other charging. I don't know, man. It's a lot of them. It's like not a lot. It's like 3 different charging standards when it comes to wireless charging. So yeah, we need to get some standards. We have standards everywhere else. It's like, why not in powering up our devices that we all are always constantly holding on to and making use of and all that kind of stuff. So you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Make all bases chargeable for all your because I got like 4 or 5 cables up here to charge my work tablet, my work phone, my phone, my tablet, my laptop. It's like they also have video game controllers I need to plug up every once in a while. You just make a device, you put it on a table, it charges. Don't matter where you put it on the table.
About to
It
say,
charges.
yeah, the table idea. Yeah, I love that idea because yeah, that would be awesome. And they need to make that post haste. I mean, I've seen prototypes of that as well as there's been talk of other what they call it, other functionality for the table, such as file sharing, photo sharing, as well as being able to do things like play music and entertainment and that
I,
kind of
I actually bought my wife a gift, a Bluetooth speaker,
thing.
where
Hmm.
you it wirelessly charge your phone. You just put it on a Bluetooth speaker, it
Yeah,
charges.
I've seen
And
those.
she never
Yeah.
uses it.
Oh, yeah. I have a party speaker that does that, but it's not. It's the it charges your phone, but not through wireless charging. It uses USB. It has
Oh,
a USB port on it. You just plug your charger into it, but it can charge the phone. But that'd be dope too, where it'll have a charging pad on top. I've seen those too, and so that's dope. You got that for Jasmine. I'm judging you now, baby.
too late. Beat you to it.
Right. All right, on to our next topic. So this one I got from our good friends over at the Daily is it Daily Show? Yeah, the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. And I saw the New York Times article that they referenced in this. So they asked the question, is being fashionably late no longer in fashion? And I just without the backstory, I'm like, I feel like that's BS. Like, no, man, I want to still be fashionably late when I want to. But no, I see how it can be, now considered in today's time because a lot of people are very what's the word? They're very, protective of their time, right? So
Time oriented.
say it again.
Time oriented.
Time oriented as well, exactly. So being fashionably late is probably not the best thing to do around some people. Um, but yeah, the New York Times article said that people are now less sympathetic of the misuse of their time, and even more due to the pandemic, they are more protective of their time than they've ever been, and less forgiving of those that are late. And hey, is punctuality popular now? That's the question. So, Dame, how do you feel about people who are disrespectful of your time or that are fashionably late?
Um, well, considering who my mom is,
Oh, damn! No, you didn't shake mom.
no. My mom,
Mom,
she was
I love
no,
you.
no, she was always the epitome of being early. Like
Oh, okay.
getting up early in the morning to go certain places,
Right.
and nobody else is there. She's like, "We gotta be there. We gotta get the seats. Why are we getting up so early?" It's like, "Why are we getting up so dang?" Okay, so I kind of got that in my system because I'm actually early for work a lot of times
Mhm.
because of the upbringing, and I'm always at parties when they say they arrive. Even though, oh, the host actually feels better when you show up. Oh, thank you. Thanks for showing up. They feel like somebody actually showed up and actually took the time out. No, they
Yeah,
know because time is precious,
exactly. Yeah.
especially now with this pandemic.
Yeah, indeed. I definitely agree that, people do appreciate when you're on time and they appreciate when you make good use of their time. So it is the right thing to do, for the most part. But there's some of us, and I'm not gonna name names, but some of us just don't have it in them to be on time because I mean we be having stuff to do. I mean, they be having stuff to do, and it's just hard, But I get it. I get it. I'm gonna try to do better, and I'm just gonna chalk it up to being more appreciative of people's time. So I don't know. So we'll see.
No, but what? At the same time, though, we understand that people have busy lives, so not everybody's gonna make every function on time. But it's 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 a time difference between being early on time, late, and fashionably late. It depends on how late you are, Sonny,
Yeah,
because
Sonny said lateness is rude,
like 15,
just
20,
like
maybe
just like a
half hour.
millennial.
But it depends on how long the function's going. You don't want to be there too early because you want to be there all day either.
Yeah,
But But say you
Yeah,
show
let's discuss the levels to this. Go ahead, Dame. Tell us what's the levels to
yeah,
this.
but if the party is 4 hours and you show up an hour and a half before the party, that is rude.
Yeah.
Maybe a half hour late, you traffic, you got a life, you might have friends, family, kids, you don't know what you have, you don't know what, there's other things to take into consideration, but be there for less than half of the party, now that's rude.
Yeah, yeah. Or a meeting, right?
See?
If you show up to a meeting, 2 minutes late in this day and age, they're gonna be on your head. They're gonna be on your head.
Especially
But
on Zoom.
let's say that meeting is, I don't know, 5 hours long. I don't know, guys. Let's calm down a little bit. Now don't show up to a meeting hour late. Your boss is gonna fire you. But if you're like 10 minutes late, I'm sure people can catch you up on whatever didn't happen during that 10 minutes because nothing did. But anyway,
But not on Zoom. Zoom, you have no excuse on
oh
Zoom.
my God, yeah, you have no excuse on Zoom. Believe me, I've been pinged at 30 seconds late. I've been pinged like, hey, where you at? Like, I'm coming. I'm having technical difficulties. So he said beyond 15 minutes without good cause or a good excuse is rude. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it's a party and it's 4 hours, 6 hours, or a eight until, 15
Yeah.
minutes is not a big deal. A half hour, an hour even, but 15 minutes to a meeting that's probably only 30 minutes long. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have did
You better get
that.
more than
Or showing up to a baby shower while they're opening the gifts. That's probably not a good idea.
now unless you're the husband or the groom or the man.
No, it's probably even worse.
I wasn't invited. I wasn't supposed to be there for the baby. No, wait. I was there for the baby shower, my wedding, my wife's bridal shower.
Oh, bridal shower. Yeah, no, bridal showers are a little different, and it depends on how the friends situation is set up. Because if you're friends with the bride's friends, you may want to get there, not late, but or not early, but not too late. But if you're just that new husband, you can get there pretty much anytime. It's not a big deal. Not usually, I don't think, but for the most part, it's like just even if you just show your face, sometimes you don't even have to, but it just depends. I think it's a dynamic there. That's always. Tan said that if it's not formal, what up though, Tan? Appreciate you for joining us. Tan said if it's not formal, i.e. a wedding, I don't think 30 minutes is a big. Yeah, exactly. 30 minutes is not a big deal, especially if it's going to be hours long. I feel like if I'm going to somebody's party, if your party is popping, you're not checking for me 30 minutes in anyway. Now
It
if I
depends on how
show up
close
at
you
the end and I'm like, oh, where the food at, and I'm bugging you, then you might be like, what the heck. But
are.
if you're showing up to formal situation and you're 30 minutes, yeah, you
No,
messed up.
no, it depends on how close you are to the person, though.
True. That is true too. Yeah, they may
Like,
be
if you
checking
like,
for
hey,
you
you like,
if
I
you're the
wonder where
groom.
he at. Like, I wonder where he at. Where my boy at? Where my girl at?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
but depending on the circumstances, leaving early is just as bad. Yes.
Yeah, Tan, great point. Leaving early is just as bad, and we don't talk about that a lot of times. We really don't. I think a lot of times people forget about that little taboo move of leaving early. And I mean, I just recently did that at a party where I had to explain myself, not a lot, but like it's like I think we all know that if you leave early from something, you better start explaining yourself because like Tan and Dame just said, it's just as bad. Sonny said if it's a timed event, you should be on time. 15 to 30, depending on the reason, is cool. Tan said, let me clear that up. You can leave early, but you should have give a proper greeting. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If you're showing your face and you're taking off, like I did that today. Actually, I had a barbecue event I went to, and but it overlapped. Like Dane was just saying earlier, when you have a life, you gotta juggle things. I went to the event early. Actually, I went very early. Actually, probably an hour early. I went to the event an hour early, but the host was there. I talked to him, actually helped him with a technical issue he was having. We kicked it. We talked a lot about family and time going on and things going on. And then I had to get to my godfather's house, and I was like, oh, you know what? I hate to go, but I gotta leave. I was like, I'm gonna try to come back, but if not, love you. Catch up with you on the next one. I was there for like, I want to say I was there for an hour. So I was there. No, I take that. I was there for an hour and a half. I was there for an hour and a half. So I got there an hour early. I left a half hour after it technically started. Now I was only like the third person. And I was only one of three people who showed up at that time. But he understood. He knew I had other things I had to get taken care of, and gave him a good reason why I was leaving early, and I was out. So it wasn't too bad.
I got a third scenario for you.
Oh, Sonny said leaving early with a plate is a huge problem. Yeah, I did not get any food from the barbecue. I did a very good etiquette thing there. I was like, you know what? I'm leaving early. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to drink. I brought my own water. Like I said, I helped them out with some technical issues they were having with the music. I got them all, I didn't get them squared away, but I got them squared away with the idea of what would work, and then I was out.
Here's the third one: getting there late and leaving early.
Oh man, yeah. You the last to arrive, but the first to leave. Yeah, that's always problematic. That's big problems. You're right, Dame. Tan said that's plenty of time. And yeah, matter of fact, it was 90 minutes. I was there for 90 minutes, so I felt like I did my part. I actually kept him company while he was sitting there trying to rack his brain over what he was doing. So and then gave him some good ideas on how to get it fixed. So he was happy I was there. You know what I'm saying? So I think it worked out great. And then Sonny said, "Let them offer." Yeah, definitely. If he'd offered me a plate, I probably would have went ahead and took it because, like Tan said, I was there plenty of time. And as well as being helpful and all that. But I'm definitely not going to offer myself a plate, and knowing that I just got there and all that kind of stuff. A friend of mine came to a event that I threw one time. And they got there. I think they were either early or right on time. I feel like they were early, and of course, I fed them. We chopped it up. And then they had to leave early. I was like, hey, I was just appreciating you being here. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's all it is. You just want people to show up and appreciate what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the best thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So like Sonny said, let them offer. So yeah, no doubt. So yeah, next up, we are going to talk about and definitely if you guys know of any crazy things, topics, discussions that we can have, definitely throw them in the comment section and we'll talk about them. We'll chop them up and let you guys comment. So definitely feel free to comment. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So hit us up in the comment section. Until then, let's go ahead and talk about the next topic. This one's a quick one. Have y'all seen the video where the orangutan attacks a man in the zoo? Like,
yes.
Bro, what was going on with that, Dane?
I don't know. He was on steroids or something. I mean, or he got too close. It's like you already know who it was. Getting too close to the enclosure and being all funny. I don't know if we can show that. But again,
I'm not gonna show the video, but I'm definitely show a clip from it, a screen grab from it. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, his leg must get taken off, right?
Yeah. So the orangutan, the guy was. I don't know if the guy was just standing there or if he was walking by, but that orangutan grabbed him and was holding on. And I never noticed the orangutan had his feet up on the thing too and was pulling him. That he was gonna rip that man's leg off.
You know how strong they are?
They're very strong, like the strength of 7 men.
They can kill you by themselves with their hands.
By themselves. I mean, imagine if a human had 4 arms and decided to rip you apart. You going down, bro. You going down.
I'm just like, when he had him, because he had his shirt first. Somehow, I don't know how he got his leg after all this. It's like beyond me.
Because he grabbed him with his feet. He was grabbing him with both his hands and his feet. Because before his feet was up on the cage, he used his leg to hit the guy's leg.
So I'm just like,
Sonny said, "Oh my damn!"
He's like, he's going to die.
Yeah. I just knew that man was getting his leg broken, that he was going to die. I just knew it. I was like, this is not going well, big fella.
He's going to have disability the rest of his life.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the picture that shows that he had the shirt at first. Then he
Yep.
grabbed. Oh, he reached down and grabbed the leg. But there was a. But oh, there it is in the third picture. You see his foot sticking out. He was going in for the leg kill with the foot. So my
That shirt
man
would
didn't
have
have no
came.
chance.
As soon as you grabbed my shirt, that shirt would have came off. You not grabbing me.
Right, exactly. Oh, so Tan says the elephants have been on some stuff too. We got to leave them alone. Yes. Oh my God. So there was an elephant or several situations where elephants have been getting real frisky with the ladies.
I didn't see this one.
Man, so these elephants have been on one, between elephants have been stomping on people, grabbing women's body parts, and what's the word? There's a video I just saw of a baby elephant humping a woman on the ground. So yeah, so they've been getting a little out of hand, a little handsy with them trunks.
You must be
And doing all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a very interesting ordeal with the elephants. But to Tan's point, we gotta leave these animals alone. Why we have decided that these animals need to be, you know,
I've seen
uh,
that one.
uh, huh?
I've seen that one.
Yeah. They've been getting very handsy with
Like,
the ladies lately.
but I understand as a parent, drive up. You know those drive up zoos. We can drive up and feed the animals or whatever. This kid is crying, "Mama, Mama, help! Roll up the window! Roll up the window!" Because there's a bird coming in and eating the food the kid had. It was
Oh,
for the
really?
it,
Right.
but the food was for the bird, but your kid is scared out his brain, and you just let the bird just do what he wants to because it's cute, right?
Right.
Traumatizing your kid is cute.
Basically.
And this,
uh,
man,
uh,
new struts, shocks, ball joints.
exactly. Yeah, it's crazy because they're doing all kinds of stuff. So it's not just getting handsy with the ladies, but also the that kind of stuff. See, this is a second image or second video that I didn't see of a baby elephant humping a woman. This is crazy. These elephants out of hand. So we definitely have a human interaction to elephant issue going on here. And let's just leave these animals alone. Sonny said it might be a peanut up in there. Definitely crazy stuff. Definitely crazy stuff. All right. Next topic.
Is it
Okay.
mine?
So as we
Is it
all
mine?
know, um, there's a lot of great inventions that have come to pass over the decades and centuries, and we've seen improvements to some as well. You know what I mean? So definitely. I'm always on the lookout for new things that to add to my home or for others to add to theirs for their convenience. But in Sweden, they made a nice addition to the trash can. They
Did
now
you
have a
see it?
trash can that makes sexual noises and says different innuendo phrases when trash is thrown into them. And let's just say, just Google it. Just Google it. You'll hear it for yourself. Let's just say it gets really risque, and definitely some funny stuff going on there. How would you feel about having a trash can that moaned every time you put trash in, Dave? Would it make you throw trash away more?
It would make me go the opposite way actually, because no, it's not okay. What if what if a kid is doing this due diligence as their parents teach them, throw your trash away, and you got whatever noise they making over there is like,
Right. So
mommy,
so
why is the trash can sounding like that?
and not only sounding like that, but it also says words like
The
please
innuendos.
come back. And then I love the way you put it in. Like, really? In moaning voices. Like, bro, like this is weird. This is
I
really
don't need to
weird.
have that conversation so early with a 6-year-old.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that's all bad. All bad. What do y'all think? Would y'all want a garbage can that made weird noise or sexy noises and all that, and said sexy phrases to you to make you throw trash away more? Is that going to help? Is that going to get you to stop littering in your house? I don't know.
No.
Like I haven't had that issue in my house, but
I think it's just on the street, but I think I got to read the article again. It's been like a week since I've seen it.
oh, okay, got you, got you. Shoot, even then, I don't know. That's weird. That's
No,
weird.
that's sorry. Still, I have a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
So yeah. So on a serious note, we're going to talk about another topic here. We got two serious ones. The first one is in
That's not. No.
Houston, man. So in Houston, a 4-year-old little boy. Sonny said no. Sonny's like nope. So in Houston, unfortunately, a 4-year-old little boy went in for surgery, and he was supposed to get a hernia surgery. He had a groin hernia that was supposed to get cut away
Fixed.
and relieved. And unfortunately, they gave him an unintentional vasectomy. Now, as a lot of you know, I've talked about that in the past, that I've gotten a vasectomy. And what that means is basically there's a tube that carries the sperm, to its destination, basically. And that tube, I guess, was the same size or the same area as the hernia. And the doctor cut it instead of cutting the hernia, and so now the little boy is I won't say more than likely, because you can reverse vasectomies, but not with the greatest success, but you can reverse vasectomies. Unfortunately, he's a 4-year-old, so you're talking the time it would take for him to grow into maturity. His biology may not allow that reversal to take hold, and they may
Not,
have
not,
reduced his
not,
chances of having a child. Yeah, go ahead, Dane.
not unless he's like you, because you had a vasectomy.
Let's not talk about
I mean,
that.
gee,
But
I still have hope for him.
I mean, and there, like I said, the reversals they've been done. I have not gotten a reversal, folks. Don't listen to Dame. But the reversals, I don't know what the exact percentage is. It's a low percentage. It's like 20 or maybe less percent chance of reversal. But you're talking grown adult men having these reversals done. You're 4 years old. Your body is going to develop, take shapes and size changes and all that kind of stuff. And I can only imagine that the vas deferens won't grow with you if it's severed, right? And one of the not the doctor himself, but one of a doctor that they talked to about it, um, they asked, was it a common mistake? And he's like, no, not at all. He said the thing is, it's not common. He said before a doctor transects or cuts any part of an anatomy, they're supposed to positively identify what that anatomy is and then cut it. He said the doctor failed to accurately identify the anatomy that needed to be cut, and unfortunately, he cut the vas deferens. That wasn't found out until it was sent in for pathology. So you're talking not even at the table. So if they want to go back and do anything, they have to do it way after. And this was after it had been sent out for testing. So whatever he clipped out what he needed or what he should have needed. The hernia continued, and so they sent it to get checked to see what was cut, and found out it was his vas deferens. So yeah,
Now,
terrible,
now,
terrible.
only thing I do have a little hope because he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
As kids are younger, their bodies heal quicker than as an adults would. So maybe that can be a bright, you know, I'm,
Yeah, the good
I'm,
thing about the vas deferens, it doesn't heal. So yeah, that's not a
I'm
thing.
just, I'm just reaching. I'm really reaching.
James, like, I'm just going. I mean, but to your point though, I mean, he's got time on his hand, right? Where quite possibly he may be able to in the future, especially if they sue the heck out of these doctors in this hospital, he may be able to in the future get a procedure that could either lengthen or substitute his vas deferens, because I'm sure that somebody's out there like, how do I make, vasectomy reversals, or even there is a thing. It's not a very, very, very rare thing, but there's a thing where people have like these ruptures or these disconnects of the vas deferens and other tubal internal organ parts like that need extensions done. I believe it's being done in like aortic valves and stuff like that. It's also being done, and sometimes like right now they've been using, I think it's pig blood vessels, or not vessels, blood arteries and things like that. They're using pig parts to do it, but they're looking at ways to synthetically lengthen or replace different arteries and things like that. So I mean, maybe there's hope in the future for something like that to be developed for a situation like his, or for people who need reversals, and to make them more viable. Tan said, me too, Dame. I'm keeping hope alive. And yeah, and I mean, that's all we can do for that little young man who befell this situation.
And go to another hospital. Not the one for the procedure to be reversed. Don't go to the same one.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Definitely don't go to the same hospital. Though there are apparently some idiots.
Go to a
Well,
different
I
state.
guess we can't blame the hospital. It's the doctor's fault. The doctor should have done his
He
due
might be
diligence.
working a different floor that day. He might be like, get him.
Right, something. I don't know. On to the next story. So apparently Airbnb squatting is a thing. Like, what? Like, man. So apparently there's this thing, this situation going on in several places where people are squatting in their Airbnb. And apparently it's not an uncommon thing. There's a whole article or a whole help section in Airbnb's website about how to avoid Airbnb squatters. So in certain states, in certain countries, there are rules and there's different uh, provisions made so that people who have who have rentals longer than 30 days are allowed to stay in them way past the agreement, and you are forced to offer only be able to evict them through legal eviction, that you're not able to even throw them out. So you can call the police all you want, you can call the constable all you want, they're not going anywhere. You have to go through legal proceedings in order to evict them from your place, your vacation property, or your even personal home. And there's different articles we were reading about. Dame, tell them about yours real quick. We're going to try to wrap this show up in a second, but go ahead and tell them.
Okay, real quick. I was listening to the D.L. Hughley show. They were talking about news and how this woman went on vacation. She wanted to not have a mortgage anymore, so she lent out Airbnb her place, and the maid, no, she said you have to be out 2 days before I come back. Um, Time goes by. The maid calls the homeowner and said that she's still here. So the woman came back home, and the woman that loaned out the place said, "Hey, you supposed to be gone," and she said, "No, I live here now." She called the police. She called the police. The police said, "Well, no, she lives here now. We can't do anything about it." The judge says, "Well, by law, she lives here now. You have to take care of her. You can't cut the power. You have to take care of her needs." So now she has to go through legal process of getting this woman out her house, and she locked the door in her new room, smokes all over the place, and said, "Don't go in my room, or I'm calling police on you for trespassing in my room."
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. But there's tons of articles about this, tons of situations, and it's sad. But that just goes to show you people will do anything to get over. But thank you all again for joining us on this show. Make sure you come back and check us out soon. We're going to be here once a month. We'll make the announcements. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and then you'll get the notifications when the next show is coming. Until then, it's been one crazy month. Me and Dame are out.